We survived 2020. Sort of. It's now 2021, and a lot of people are looking at themselves saying, what do I do now? It's a new year. Should it be a new me? I'm not gonna lie, Evil Unicorn and I, we're in the same boat. Let's chat some goals, shall we? Hey heathens! Thank you so much for stopping by the channel once again. I am JD Blute, that is Evil Unicorn, and we are here on my channel, as we already said. And I really appreciate you stopping by. This is going to be just a quick little chatty chat about what I would like to do for the channel, about what I would like to do for myself, and what I would like to basically provide for you, for lack of a better word. I do have some goals that I've laid out on, well, nothing. They're in my head, so this is just going to be a little bit of a stream of consciousness to put out into the world what I would like to see. I don't want to say what I want to get back, but what I want to work toward. The first thing I'd like to work toward, and this is my overarching big-ass giant goal, is I would like a string sponsorship. As dumb as it sounds. I'm not looking for too much, and I'm certainly not reaching out. I know I'm nowhere near ready, but I would like to grow the channel enough. I'm sorry, there's a pillow in my ass. I would love to grow the channel enough to where somebody reaches out and says, hey, you play a lot of guitar, have some strings. That's all. That, I guess, is the most major overarching goal that I have that doesn't really have a timeline because you can't really put a timeline on that. The channel has grown really well since August, which I guess is when I started taking it super seriously. I just hope to continue that trend enough for someone to notice. So goal number 2 is also to continue growing the channel. I would love to do more gear demos. I would love to be able to sit down with any piece of gear that I can find. What I'm gonna do once business opens up just a little bit more is reach out. I have a local guitar shop who I actually do really like, and I have purchased some things before then. We're in a small town, so they only do Fender and Gibson guitars, really. But the Jackson that you all have seen on the channel, right over here, was from that store, so I do support them very much, and I want to see if he'll let me borrow some equipment. I don't know. Couldn't hurt, right? Who knows? Secondly, I have been scratching my head about trying to make more fun content. If you couldn't tell, this is a green screen. This is my webcam. It is really the only camera that I actually trust enough to shoot videos with. I did one with my iPhone that I absolutely hated the behind the scenes bullshit of, just setting it up and trying to get it to work. I didn't use the selfie cam, I wanted to use the actual 4K cam. And as happy as I am with how that video turned out, I don't know that I would actually sit down and force myself to do it again that way. And I haven't since. So I would really love to do more things, but I have to do them in a way that's helpful to me and easy to pull off, because I think that's key. I think right now we have a pretty solid schedule of Sundays for riffs and Thursdays for whatever the hell else it is I bring you, like this. I kind of want to stick to that. But as I mentioned in a prior video, I'm running out of stuff to review on my own, so I have to think outside the box. So I'm going to put it to you. If you could leave a comment down below, let me know what you want to see out of this channel. What do you want to see out of me? I kind of think I'm funny. But I also kind of think, no, I actually know I'm in sort of a creative rut. And it sucks to say, but that is the honest truth. I have so much in my head that I think I want to do. I just can't put it to paper, and I definitely can't get going on it. So that is yet another goal, is to break that creative slump. So I'd love to know how you break your creative slumps. Let me know down below, of course. Also want to ask, is Evil Unicorn working for you guys? He's working for me. He gets a huge laugh out of my wife, which if nobody else laughs, I appreciate that she does. They're real laughs. I think he's working for me. I don't know. I like adding that sort of layer of stupidity, and I always seem to need a gimmick. I settled on him, once again thanks to the wife who ended up putting him in the mirror so you could see him back in those first couple Sunday with Ola Riff challenges I did. Way back. I think there's only 2 or 3 videos that he actually doesn't appear in. Some other goals I want to achieve this year are slightly more related to gear. I'll say it again, running out of gear to review, but I'm also, outside of reviewing, I'm a gearhead. I really am. I'm sure I said this in a prior video. I love all the gear coming out, and like my Instagram is filled with guitar companies that I've heard of, guitar companies I haven't heard of, all the stuff they're coming out with, as well as amps and pedals, and the whole just gamut of gear just really makes me happy. And it really inspires me to want to save money, if that makes any sense. So what I wanted to do as well is just, here's a couple pieces of gear that I'm thinking I would like to purchase. That seems awkward, and it is, but that's true. So let's start with the attainable. As you know, I'm 100% digital in terms of my amps. I would really love to get an actual physical tube amplifier. I haven't really decided, and I know I just said tube amp because that's kind of like the unattainable goal I have. My attainable goal would honestly be something like a Boss Katana. I think they're really great from all the demos I've seen. Unfortunately, that guitar store I mentioned doesn't have any in stock. I'm certain he'll get it for me. He said I can ask him and he'll order absolutely anything. So I want to get my hands on one of those. Secondarily to that, I want to get my hands on a Positive Grid Spark because I really need help practicing songs. That's one of my personal goals as well, is that I do not practice songs. I'll practice scales, I'll practice memorizing the fretboard, which is a big thing for me this year. I want to actually have it entirely memorized. No, I do not. That's why I am the pentatonic master when it comes to my demos. So that's something that's really at the forefront of my mind that I have to do. But I also don't practice songs too much. This has been a thing in my head since I was a kid, that I never really practiced songs unless I was in a band and we were going to cover those songs. And I'd like to step out of that and just be like, oh, I want to learn this song, and let's not be afraid of it, and let's just actually learn the goddamn song. So I'm thinking the Spark will help. So Katana, Spark, and then in terms of a tube amplifier, I honestly don't know. I'd love your suggestions. I'm kind of thinking Rev, kind of, if I can, of Fortin. Fortin is like the super highly unattainable goal that I have. The new Sigil is out, and I just absolutely jizz my pants for it. It is just stunning to look at. I know it sounds amazing. And so that's the super high unattainable one. But yeah, I would love to get my hands on one of those. So let me know, are my thought processes helping out? Are they things that you would like to see on the channel? Are they things that I should try and save money for? Or if you have your favorite amps of any kind, let me know down below. I would love to know what you think. I'm not really a pedal guy, again, because I don't have anything physical. There is one pedal on my radar that I absolutely want, and it's the Digitech Drop. This thing, depending on who you ask, is either good, great, or amazing. No one has said it is bad. No one has said it is meh. No one has said that there's an issue with it. This new iteration that Digitech put out, I guess mid last year, mid 2020, seems to be really taking the drop tuning world by storm, and I want to get in on that. I have a limited amount of guitars, I have a limited amount of space for guitars, and I really feel like my home is in a drop tuning, even though my favorite guitars are tuned sort of higher up. I really would like to get into C tuning, and what I've heard is that the Drop does very well about down to C, but if you try and go any lower, you're going to end up with muddy, and it sounds a little textured from what I've heard. Either way, people still use it on their recordings and in their jams, and I only really need it to get down to C. I love that level of tuning. So that is 100% on my list of things to grab this year and try out and abuse the ever-loving shit out of. Other than that, I don't really have much of an affinity for pedals. I was a Boss Digitech kid back in the day. I know there are a ton of amazing stuff out there. Just nothing really catches my eye, nothing really that I think I would need. So, but the Digitech Drop, absolutely 100%. I really, really hope you guys will see that on this channel this year. Guitars are an interesting thing for me because I ended up buying like 2 last year. Granted, it was for my 40th, so maybe I went a little bit overboard, but the likelihood of buying a guitar a year just seems sort of far-fetched to me. Maybe it's not, who knows? And this is where I have like levels of dollar monies that I'm willing to spend. So on the lower end, I actually want to get one of the Harley Bentons in my hands. And I mean, no disrespect when I say lower end, I mean lower end of the price scale. I would really love to get a Harley Benton in my hand. I think they look great, and for low to mid-range price guitars, they apparently do really well. So I'd really love to just have one that I can beat around with and make some killer tunes and not really worry about how much my wallet cried for it. In terms of getting up into the upper mid-range, I would love a higher end Solar. One of the A, the S 1.6. I'm actually really looking forward to hopefully getting the E 1.6 baritone. Those are the specs I want, 6-string baritone in the E shape. I don't remember if Ola has that, but I think he does. So that's definitely on my list of things to grab, if it exists. If not, I'll correct myself here with the edits and stuff, and Evil Unicorn will yell at us a little bit. And in terms of like super high dollar money values, I really want to try an Ernie Ball Majesty. Even if just to try. My local guy doesn't have one, but there is a music store about an hour and change away from me that actually has an Ernie Ball wall, and it is every bit as beautiful as you think it is. And I think that's, once the pandemic's over, I'm not leaving the house until then, but once I'm able to, I really want to go down and at least try it, and I'll film it, because it will be without a doubt the most expensive and probably best quality guitar I have ever played. I have always stayed sort of in the, $1,500 is probably pushing it for me in terms of dollar amount. And up here in Canada, the Ernie Ball Majesties go for a lot more than $1,500. So I gotta try. Plus they look so goddamn cool. And I'd really like to say that I played one poorly. And I promised Crises I would add this in as well. Another piece of unfortunately unattainable gear that I want to grab, which is 100% more so for her, even though I'm going to end up teaching her how to use it, is a hurdy-gurdy. If you know what that is, you know exactly why I'm saying it's pretty unattainable. If you don't, it is basically I guess a guitar with a wind? People who play hurdy-gurdy generally say that it's most like playing a guitar even though you're playing keys. So that's why I say I think I'll be teaching Crises how to play. I have a little desire to try one. This is definitely more so for her, but I definitely have a desire to try one, and I've seen Michelina. She is the hurdy player for Elvite. She has her studio set up and she has a ton of guitars, and she has said that it's like, oh yeah, it's like playing guitar, just, the other positioning. Plus, if you'll believe it or not, Crises is one of the few people who I actually have more musical knowledge than, so gonna have to teach her, but that's beside the point. Other than that, that kind of does it for gear. For me, I do want a camera. I want something that will allow me to step outside. I do want more lighting. Right now I've got 2. There we go. Right now I've got the 2 lights. I do want more lighting. I do want a larger green screen because, spoiler alert, this one's not very big. It's great for playing video games, but I actually can't play guitar too well with it because if I back up like this, I am already hitting it with my chair. You can probably see me, but I have to get the almost forgot, shit. You guys didn't remind me. There is a thing out there made in Italy, I want to say, called the Performax. This is a guitar comfort apparatus. What it does is you slide your guitar into it and it basically makes like a leg brace. So instead of playing, standard or classical, you can have the guitar basically anywhere along the radius here, radius is the wrong word, but whatever, that you would like. So for example, sometimes when I'm doing these videos, because of the limited space, I do the Dino Cazares thing. I don't have a guitar near me, but I do the Dino Cazares thing where I put it on my leg so you can see like this, and this is how I make all my Instagram videos. This Performax thing actually allows that to be comfortable and without having the strap lock dig into your, skin. They're out of stock till February, but that's definitely something I would invest in, and I highly recommend it if you're feeling like my shoulders are just getting wrecked. I turned 40 and I'm goddamn feeling it, and I hate it. Yeah, back to camera. I want to do more. I do. It's part of the goals. I want to do more. I did want a better lav mic, but you know what? We're going to stick with this. I think I have got my audio situation more or less figured out between the microphone that you guys normally see. There it is. And the new lav mic. I actually dig this. I can wave my hand around and be all cool. As cool as I get anyway at 40. That's pretty much it for gear. I also want to make music, like actual music. I love doing the Sunday with Olas. They sort of get me in that creative space for a little bit, and then what I tend to do is I back out and I go about the rest of my Sunday, because Sundays are usually hanging with the family and whatnot. So I really would like to sit down and make more music, which is good because I was actually challenged to by a friend who is basically creating a really cool visual project that he needs music for. A lot of the music he just sources, but he asked me to do 2 songs. I have a month to do them. So I'm gonna be making more music, because I have to. I'm a little scared, I'm not gonna lie. I am very trepidatious of that. There's your big word of the day. Just because I really don't feel my musical skill is up to it, if that makes any sense. But that's where we're at. But I'm super excited to try. And another thing I want to do, which may or may not affect YouTube, is that I want to stream more. I want to stream my production because I actually really love doing those streams. I want to stream eventually me playing music once I get the confidence enough to play live. I do not have that right now. And I want to just stream other stuff too. Like, I play video games a lot. I'm not good at them at all. Probably a better musician than I am a gamer, so that should give you some idea. But my chats on stream are some of the most fun that I've had in a long while, so that's also another goal of just me getting out and doing stuff is the main point of this video. And in this video, I have blabbed for a hell of a long time. Thank you so very much to everybody who made 2020 what it was. We topped at about 2,500 views, which for a guy you've never heard of is really, really goddamn cool. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Of course, I could always use more subscribers. I could always use more likes. I could always use more comments. So if you are just discovering the Heathens for the first time, please do us all a solid. Hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you. I've got an amazing community building up so far here in the comments section, and definitely over on my Twitch as well. We'd love to have you. We're all just nerds. We're all a little weird. We're all a little different, and we're all incredibly supportive. That said, I'm gonna get out of your face now. Thank you so much for spending a little part of your day with me. On behalf of Evil Unicorn, be safe, be consensual, and if you can't be good, well then, sweet Satan on a pogo stick, be good at it. Bye.